you see me moonwalk in? It was amazing. Some of you may remember a few months ago I was doing some stuff with some Soviet guitars. I still have one I'm working on. And I had this one import guitar that had the Hofner style bridge on it with little pieces of fret wire you move back and forth. And I'd never really looked at one carefully or experimented with one, and I loved it. And I was like, you know what, I want to make one of these myself someday. So that's what I'm going to do right now, because I have a couple projects I'm working on right now that are reminiscent of guitars from that era and that style, and I'm going to give it a try. So first, I'm not quite sure how big and how wide and stuff I want to make this. I decided to start by experimenting by hand first. And this meant hitting my scrap wood pile of the special stuff. I save almost every little piece of wood until the winter comes, and I end up burning a lot of scraps. But these are like special pieces of wood that I have, some hardwood like ebony and whatnot. And this is a piece of red mahogany that was off the 1895 Ernestina ship. It's part of the ship's structure from when it was getting rebuilt. And I thought I'd mess around with that because these little chunks aren't too good for anything other than smaller projects like this. It's kind of a soft wood to make a bridge from, but I kind of had a feeling I wasn't going to end up using this, which I ended up not using it, although I might use it in my future projects because they came out okay. But right now I'm just kind of sketching, and I use my Square X, this new tool I developed. There's a video about that you can check out. And I'm almost out right now, but I'm going to make some more pretty soon. To find the centers and kind of just start roughing out where I'm going to cut. Now, I decided to keep the block of wood together as I drilled out my posts and then cut it afterwards. That way I would guarantee that the holes would line up properly. It seemed pretty simple, and now I'm drilling out a countersink for the head, and so now that I've done that, I can go and cut them out, and I know that the holes are going to line up perfectly. But then I realized after I cut it that I wanted to round the corners over, and so now I had to round them all individually, which I probably should have just done prior to that. And then after I rounded them all over, I realized that I wanted the top piece to be a little bit shorter than the bottom piece, so I went and ended up cutting that a little shorter and rounding those over again. The next step is to put some slots in the top of it for holding fret wire, and I wanted to put at least 3 of them so I could adjust the string spacing forward or back a little bit. So I found the center line and then just put a line on either side. And then I put this little stopper on my fret saw just to make sure I didn't cut too deep. Set up a simple jig out of some scraps of plywood to hold everything still, and then using my square with the square edge, proceeded to just simply cut those slots to pop frets into later. With some, those are bolts from like cabinet hardware that I found that seemed to be like a pretty good fit, but I needed a nut and bolt for them, and I didn't have any that fit, so I decided to make my own out of some spare change from my spare change cup in the shop. There's 2 things I need to accomplish here. One is to actually screw down the bolt and hold it to the base of the bridge, and then the other thing I need to do is make an adjuster so I can slide the top piece up and down. So the first thing I needed to do was to find the center of the coin, and it turns out that coins aren't the same size as most of my drill bits, so it was a little bit tricky to get them just right, and my first attempts with that quick simple jig were okay. A couple of them were a little off center, a couple of them were, like anything with practice, I got better at it. And you can see I just simply drilled a hole, and I used an 8/32 tap to tap it to fit those bolts that I found. I had to just simply cut the bolts to the proper length so they weren't sticking out too far, and just hit them with a file to clean them up. And there we go. There's my proof of concept. But there's some things about it I don't like, and I feel like now that I know how to make it work, I can do it better with the trusty old CNC machine. Now that I had all my basic measurements and I saw what I liked and didn't like about that, I went and I drew these simple files to cut out on the CNC. And we'll talk more about these files at the end, but you can see I'm using an 0.2 2-inch end mill to cut my fret slots. And then I'm also used a V-bit to cut out the edges of the base to give them a little bit of a chamfer. Drilled all my holes, cut them all out, and there are all my parts ready to go. I wanted to make this a simple one-sided cut, so I didn't cut the bottoms, and I just went in with a hand drill and countersunk the bottom for holding the nut, and the bolt that I would put in there later. A little bit of finish sanding. But now what I need to do is I need to drill my coins, after I polish them up, of course. And the first couple that I made, I used quarters and nickels, but I decided that was too expensive. So I switched to nickels and pennies, and I made this simple little template, this time on my laser, to exactly the dimensions of the coins. Save the cutouts with a little hole in the center so I could get an easier, faster, cleaner center punch on the coins before drilling them out and tapping them in the same procedure. I thought it'd be faster if I just used some sort of handheld plier instead of clamping them in the vise, and I had a few problems like that where it ran up, but after practicing a couple times I got pretty good at holding it just the right way to do that, and then I just simply threaded them by hand because this is a pretty soft metal. It threaded easily. And here's the instrument that I was making them for. There's another video about that you can go check out. And you can see I wanted to make them a little bit long for guitars, but I noticed on that instrument, which is so small, that they were like a little bit too long. It was going to crowd the knobs and whatnot, so I ended up cutting off the edges and just hand sanding in that chamfer again. And it worked great. And that's why I'm calling these sort of blanks, because you do need to make some adjustments and whatnot. And then I just there's always little bits of fret wire left over from when you're fretting a job. Like there's just that one piece that's not long enough to use, and this is a perfect way to use that stuff up because it is expensive. And I made 2 bridges for the 2 bases that I was building with 4, and then I made these other 2 bridges that I put 6 individual frets in, so it could be used for a 6-string or a 4-string if you want to take a couple out. And then you simply place it on your instrument. Then it's just a matter of fitting it to your instrument and putting a little slot in the fret to hold the strings. The reason I started down this road was to make 2 bridges for 2 bass guitars that I'm building right now, and that's what these 2 are for. But then I got a little carried away and I made these 2 blanks, as I was calling them, for future projects or whatever, and I might even put these up in my newperspectivesmusic.com store for sale. I was thinking about making a whole bunch of them, just offering them as a part for sale in my store, but I think they're a little bit labor intensive still for me to put them up and have the price make sense. But it's nothing really amazingly skillful that I did here. You can do this too. So instead what I put up in the store are plans that you can download that have all the measurements you need. They have a PDF of all the outlines, so you could use those in your laser, your CNC, or you could literally just print a piece of paper out and glue it to a piece of wood and cut along the lines to make these. I also included the profiles for the little jig that I made to drill in the center of these coins, and I'll put all the information and stuff. I figure, for $1, you can download those plans and make one of these. It'll save you a little bit of time instead of doing it from scratch yourself. Hope you find that useful. Thank you very much for watching. And again, you can support me on Patreon at patreon.com/TimSway, which is one of the ways that I finance making these sort of exploratory videos without having too much commercial content involved. I appreciate everybody over there, and we do some extra stuff too. So back to work for me. Be good.